Welcome to Cut the BS with Holly and Rachel.
We are here to help you ditch the overwhelm, stop second guessing, and reconnect with what truly fuels your body, your mind, and your life.
No fluff, no filters, just real talk that helps you feel strong, aligned, and unstoppable. Whether you're on a walk, commuting, or sipping your favorite matcha, this is your space.
Welcome, everybody, to a very, very special episode. Holly and I are so excited. We'll go ahead and start with some introductions. For those of you that don't know, where have you been? My name is Rachel, a.k.a. Ray Ray, a.k.a. Bon Bon. And with me is my lovely co-host,
Holly, a.k.a. Holly, a.k.a. Holly Ramsey, a.k.a. Tess.
So we have, as I said, a very special guest who's got a long laundry list of accolades. In our last episode, we talked a little bit about volleyball. We gave you a couple little sneak peeks of what's to come, and what's to come is here. Miss Allison Holder.
Round of applause.
Thanks for having me.
Miss Allison Holder was a 7-time high school state champion with 1,000+ kills and digs, was a Gatorade Player of the Year nominee. She then attended Morehead State, where she racked up 1,823 digs, had a 22-match streak of double-digit digs, snaps for that. Then she took her 5th year at Creighton, where she crossed that 2,000 dig milestone, was ranked 6th in the nation, and now is playing for the Omaha Supernovas. And correct me if I'm wrong, Allison, I believe you just clinched the MLV championships.
We did, yes. Praise the Lord, we clinched.
Yeah. So welcome to Cut the BS.
Yes.
We're so happy to have you. And we're going to really just kind of dive into how you view wellness and what's it like to be an Omaha Supernova.
I love that. These are all my favorite things to talk about.
So I was doing a little research. Obviously, Allison and I know each other from our Morehead days. And I was doing a little research on the internet, Googling you, if you will. And online it shows that you're listed at 2 different heights. So I just wanted to see what the real was.
Okay.
Because I'm seeing 5'6", I'm also seeing 5'8", and we know that rosters sometimes give you a little bit.
Right.
So
yeah. I think it's up to creative expression, really, on the roster. Some years, maybe I'm just feeling tall and they put me at 5'8", and I love that for them. I love that they do that for me. I will say, truth be told, with shoes on, I'm like a solid 5'7". Now, 5'6" is really undercutting me. I hate that. We don't need to put that anywhere. I don't know who did that to me. That's rude. So yeah, we could say 5'7". We can lean 5'8" if I got a lot of tall teammates. I need to just bring the average back up.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you heard it. You heard it here, everybody. We're sitting at a solid 5'7".
Yeah. Loud and proud.
So you're in this new role now. Like, obviously you have played volleyball your whole life. You played in high school, you played college, and now you're in what I would call a pretty different environment, being with the Omaha Supernovas. What has been the biggest change in atmosphere from college to pro?
I would say just like every level up truly does level up from the perspective of everybody's better. So when you go from high school to college, I came in as a freshman and went, man, I got work cut out for me. Like I'm slow, I'm behind. And then you get into the pro side and it's again like my freshman year all over again. I'm like, man, all these girls are really good. There's no drop off anywhere. I got to pick up my game. I got to be better for this career, essentially. But it's fun. I love challenging myself that way. And I think there's a lot of things off the court too that change. As we get into the wellness side, we'll probably talk a little bit more about that. But I think you really have to lock in a little, like this is your job now. So wellness really becomes your job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what a job to have.
What
What
a
a job to
dream.
have.
We try. We
Yes.
try. It's not always great. It's always perfect, but
Yeah. Okay, so it just keeps leveling up. We just keep leveling up and we keep doing our best and then doing more. So I did also see that the Omaha Supernovas had a world record of 16,838 fans.
Wow.
Uh,
Yeah.
the Supernovas, yeah.
everyone watches women's sports, right? Isn't
Huh.
that the shirt that I keep seeing? So
Yes.
tell me about that experience. Tell me about like the noise level. Like how
Uh-huh.
was that?
It's really funny because I think in the moment you kind of have to compartmentalize that a little bit. And then once you like hear the number of like 16,000. So when I was at Creighton, actually, we played a game in there that broke the attendance record at the time for indoor college volleyball. And that was like a very surreal experience. I remember like CHI in itself is where we play. It's our event center. And it just is like this big bowl around you. And it feels like a true arena venue, major league atmosphere. And especially in that game, I was young. That was my first experience, was experiencing a lot of people at once. And that was probably very overwhelming. Now I had that experience. So now going into pro and that being our home court every game, to bring those fans in and to have 16,000, almost 17,000 in there is almost, it was a little bit easier to compartmentalize it, I guess, because I've already been there before. But just to like look around and be like, man, this is our home court. Like we get to do this every home game and people are showing up. And it's like, like to think in the world, like women's professional sports everywhere, we are like breaking records. And it's just really amazing to be a part of that. And I truly like, don't think I wrap my head around that enough because
Yeah.
it's exciting
Insane.
for sure.
Yeah. My friend is a part of
And
history.
Yeah.
she
I'll
is.
take
She's
it.
literally writing history. And I think it's so cool too because you're in an era of watching and being part of volleyball's growth. Like you are actively helping volleyball grow. And I think like, how do you wrap your head around that as an athlete?
Yeah. I'm hoping when I'm like 50, maybe I'll look back and finally be able to realize how cool it was. I think in the moment, again, like once you get into game time, like you got a task at hand and you really got to lock in and you kind of have to let the outside noise not really affect you. But I think once the game's over, like we're really good about like looking around the gym and just really appreciating the fandom for what it is and like that so many people are just involved. And so to be a part of the sport, like I get jitters every time I run out for game time. Like it's just truly so cool. So I don't take that for granted at all of like running out to the music and just like feeling the adrenaline is always such a rush. Like I love that part so much.
Yeah. How do you stay grounded? Like, I just obviously probably time and like getting used to it. But what are like your top things that you do every single game beforehand to just ground yourself in the game itself and not the environment?
I think I'm still working on that piece, honestly. Like I've played volleyball for a long time. I started when I was 6, and as the games have changed and the atmospheres have changed for me, your inner dialogue changes a little bit as well. And I think something I've probably struggled with on the pro side, again, like I talked about, it's almost like you come back in as almost like a freshman vibe. And so I've been trying to really up my confidence level from the inside out. And part of that is for me praying a little bit before the game. I think I always ground myself in my faith and being able to get back to God's word. The other part is like really trusting my teammates. Like I think the more you can bond with your teammates, women's sports in general, but volleyball especially is like a very specific sport where it's almost team oriented first. And that's how we compete together, is when we can lean on each other and really trust each other in the moment. And that really helps you stay present too. And just having fun. Like I think the more tense that I get off the court, like I can't like sit in that silence almost for myself. Some people can and do a really great job with that. But for me, I've got to like get excited. I got to dance around. Like I got to get the jitters out and have fun with it. And that's how it just helps me free flow.
Yeah, I love that.
Me too.
Doesn't love a good dance break.
Just a quick little dance party.
Yeah.
Okay, so So since you guys have such a good home base, a home crowd, traveling, and when you don't have that home base, like, staying grounded, and also, like, how do you not let, like, the oohs and the ahs of it all impact your game while also sometimes needing to, like, feed off of the crowd at the same
Yeah,
time? Like, how
for
do you
sure.
balance that all?
That's something I think I've noticed this year is like when you're in an opponent's gym, there's just kind of like silence that happens when you do good things, or like sometimes when the other team's serving that you don't have, like you said, at a home for like a home crowd advantage. I think on the road, that's even more important for us to like almost take an underdog mentality every time you step in somebody else's gym of like, we're coming in and we're going to beat you on your home court. And that means we've got to out team you, regardless of if you're bringing in 16,000 fans, we're going to be louder than your 16,000 fans on the court, on the sideline, like whatever the case may be, to like really bring that environment through to ourselves.
Shifting gears a little bit into the wellness side of things, because obviously we're here to talk about volleyball, but who would Holly and I be if we didn't bring in the health and the wellness? So, and also as an athlete, it's arguably one of the most important things that you need to focus on as an athlete so that you can stay healthy and well for performance. So tell us a little bit about what wellness means to you and why it's so important.
Oh, I really wish that I had honed in my wellness when I was in college, let alone in high school. We'll forgive high school because, we're young, adolescent, just the metabolism is rocking, so it probably doesn't even matter that much. But I will say there are probably a lot of things that could have helped. I think in college, especially moving away from home, like everything was on your own, it's on yourself. And I think that's when I really started to understand wellness a little bit better, probably by my junior, senior, fifth year of really just like, I don't know, wellness to me just means like every aspect of life. It's not just like what you eat and your activity levels. It's your emotional capacity, your spiritual capacity. It's how much sleep you get. It's how, your relationships are with other people. It's like a whole spectrum. And I think a lot of people can get caught up in the what you're eating and what you're doing. But to me, especially when you're playing professional sports, that becomes even more imperative that like you're controlling all of those aspects. Well, I say control lightly. We can't always control everything. But yeah, I think that's why wellness is important to me, because it's just who we are. Like it's a part of our whole well-being.
No, I love what you said about it being like a whole spectrum of all these different things. And I think I know Holly and I can definitely agree with you because it is like, it isn't just the food you eat and the weights you lift and the steps you get, although those are parts of it. It's so much more, right? But looking at, a little bit more of the physical aspects of it, how do you put yourself in the best position to show up and be a professional athlete every day?
In the off season, that's probably when a lot of you can kind of really rein in your focuses from a physical standpoint of working out and getting your body where you want it to be at its peak performance, and then nutrition wise. And then I would say in season, it's really about maintenance from there.
Mhm.
And I'm really putting my body through the throes of playing time. So can I just maintain from there and put myself in the best position? So I would say in the off season, like a hardcore workout program, we can push weights a little bit more. Obviously, recovery is always important through any of this. For me this year, I will say a goal is to work more on mobility, especially in the libero position. I think that's something that I definitely have undervalued a lot, is
Mm.
that I need to be a little bit more flexible and mobile. And I think that really plays a lot into my game and just overall life and how I'm
Mhm.
feeling. But yes, weights, strength training, agilities in the off season. And then obviously when we get to play on the court, that's a big part of our cardio and agilities in season. And so then it's just like maintaining lifts from there. And then the food side is a whole nother spectrum. It looks relatively the same, honestly, from off season to in season. I think it's just a lifestyle change that I've made as a whole of how I eat. Some things will change from time to time based on how much workload we have. Um, but yeah, those are like the basics of being a professional athlete. And it is just, I mean, we've got to get ourselves ready going into the training camp prior to. So in our preseason training, we really got to look our best, feel our best, be our best.
Yeah. And so I know, obviously, because we know each other from Moorhead, for those of you that don't know, I was the graduate assistant when little Miss Allison was coming in as a freshman. And so I know, like, the college aspect of it, a lot of things are controlled for you. Not that, like, you're a child, but things are it's more of a controlled environment. Would you say that it's similar in professional sports or completely different?
Some things are similar. Like there are times, especially when we're on the road, obviously they're handling a lot of our food for us and controlling our menus when we kind of order out or whatever the case may be. So that's nice. So on the road, we're not always having to think about it. But I would say when we're home, it's really on us for a lot of things. They'll give us some pre and post match things, but you have to think a match is only once or twice a week. So any pre-practice stuff, post-practice, dinner, snacks, it's really up to your discretion and putting yourself in the best place. So I've seen diets look very different for a lot of different pro athletes, and some people can thrive in the chaos. Some people can really thrive in the chaos of their diet, but I don't know. I'm like decently regimented, but I also love a sweet treat, and I think there's plenty of room for a lot of things. So it's up to
Speaking
us.
our
But
language.
that's probably the
Yeah,
biggest difference.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we love balance here at Cut the BS. So,
Mm-hmm. That's
as
right.
Holly said, you are speaking our language.
Curious, Allison.
Yeah.
What is first of all, do you have the same meal before games, like on game days?
Mm-hmm. I don't usually.
Okay.
They do provide like a pregame meal for us before the game, which my meals are usually the same. I'll eat that sometimes, and then sometimes it's like a rice, chicken, maybe a vegetable, depending on if I want my stomach to hurt or not, or how bad I want it to hurt.
Okay.
You gotta watch the fiber sometimes.
Yeah.
Too much
Yeah.
before games, but it is just sometimes it's just what I can get my hands on. But a good protein source, a solid carb source, is always the trick. I eat
Yeah.
relatively the same all the time, honestly. So sometimes some people will think it's boring, but I love it. But yeah, pregame meal is usually something like that. 3 hours in advance, and then we're snacking beforehand.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I see you guys or you posting on your Instagram is like your
Mm-hmm.
coffee runs, especially for away games. What is
Right.
your go-to coffee order or matcha or whatever you end up getting?
Ooh, yes, a coffee is a must on a game day. I've been really big this year on like a honey cinnamon latte. Iced latte, I should say. I don't usually do hot lattes, but I'm kind of moving this summer into like the iced Americano vibe.
Oh, okay.
She's grown up.
Yeah.
She's a
She's
grown-up.
trying. She
Palate
says
is
that.
expanding.
I love my milk. I'm a big milk person, so I don't know if I can fully transform over. I'd say maybe my second coffee of the day becomes more of like a
Fair.
regular coffee kind of vibe. I don't hate a matcha. I know Rachel loves a matcha.
I do.
Yeah, but I'm hard on the coffee.
Okay.
Honey cinnamon latte is a solid go-to no matter where you're at, I feel like.
Yeah, they all
Honey
kind
and
of
cinnamon.
have the same flavor. Yeah,
You had me at honey and cinnamon.
right. It's like what are those called? What are those
Teddy
little
Grahams.
bears? Teddy Grahams. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. So we talked a little bit about pregame meals, some of your go-tos. We love a good honey cinnamon coffee order. Tell me a little bit, moving on from the food, for the maintenance, because I know you talked about in season, it's a lot of like maintaining, it's a lot of recovery. So what does that look like for you? And I know, like, when we see online, we see a lot of like aesthetic recovery and aesthetic, things that people do to relax or to recover. Tell me what yours looks like.
Mm-hmm. The beauty of it is, as a professional athlete, you get a lot of resources kind of handed to you, which is nice. In the off season, some of that's a little bit more on you to kind of seek out.
Yeah.
But I would say in season recovery looks like remembering to stretch after practice. That's a big one. There's a lot of times we'll get like 2 months in the season and I'm just like running around after practice, and then I can tell the next day when I didn't stretch after practice. And even if I could get in like a quick stretch before bed, like sometimes that is also helpful. I have worked on like recovery boots, like the Normatec boots, for circulation. I think those are really helpful for me just because liberos are very quad dominant. Volleyball is a very quad dominant sport anyways. And so our legs are heavy in use. So those are very helpful. I've been big on my red light this year.
Okay.
I trust my red light for a lot of things. Water is a big one that I'm really bad at, you guys. Oh, I'm so bad. But hydration is like I can really tell the difference sometimes in my daily life or / performance when I'm dehydrated, which is probably very often.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So I'm working on that one for sure. What else? Massages. We get a massage like once a week, which at first I thought seemed a little much, but like truthfully, when you're in season, it just helps maintain a lot from muscle recovery, like just to loosen things up when you got a little something going on, take some of the work off of our athletic trainers' hands. So that's nice as well.
Yeah. Listen, if you need to drink more water, just do what I did. I gifted myself with an Awala. It's sitting over there looking at me, telling me I need to drink some.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just so convenient. And so it has helped me tremendously. I drink 3 of them a day. 90 to 110 ounces is my goal usually. The differences are there. I'm less puffy. So
Comfort bottle is also
yes.
my way to go. Yeah. I have to
Yeah.
change it up sometimes if I get bored, but yeah, I agree. I love an Owala.
Mhm.
Well, so I was going to ask, like, what are you doing to improve your water?
Oh, I'm like literally even this week I've been like, because traveling is like really that's my biggest issue is we get
Mhm.
on a plane, we're gone for 3 days, we come back. And so when you have an early morning flight, I get up, I'm not drinking a whole lot of water. We're on the plane. I hate the airport water. I'm not drinking much on the plane. We land, we go to practice. I'm probably still not drinking a lot of water. Like that's probably my biggest problem in season. So honestly, I don't know. Maybe you can give me some tips for next season, especially because I bring my water bottle. I have my Owala. It's just sometimes it just doesn't seem appetizing to me, or I'm just like tired, or what. I'm not even thinking about it, truthfully, if we're on the road. Maybe I just need to set a reminder on my phone or something, or like write it on my hand. Drink your water, Allison.
Drink your water.
Yes.
Write it, tattoo on my forehead.
Right.
I tell people all the time, if you wear an Apple Watch or like you said, a phone, but like an Apple Watch, like the timer where it's just vibrating on your watch to like check in, like, hey, in the past 2 hours, have I taken a sip of
Sip of
water?
water. Yeah.
If no, maybe it's a sign. Maybe we should
Yeah.
let me use this as a reminder. Or there's so many apps too that if you're a visual person, it'll like grow a tree for every 20, 30, whatever your goal is, like however many ounces you finish, it'll like grow something as you get close, like more and more and more.
Yeah.
So there's always like cutie little apps too.
I like
Yeah.
that. I might try that.
So you kind of hinted at this earlier, Allison, but like wellness is not just, your diet and the activity part of it all, right? Like there's also the emotional side of it. So volleyball is very much a sport of, okay, that play happened, whatever happened, happened. We're moving on to the next one. We have, very little time in between the plays. But on Cut the BS, we talk all the time about not letting bad days impact the next day and like letting go of that like all or nothing mindset and not needing to be perfect. How do you feel like you are able to let go of bad plays or, even bad games or bad practices? Like, how do you manage the mental aspect of that?
That's a great question. And it's probably like an ever evolving thing for me from a mental load side, because I think every season you're probably struggling with different mental aspects of the game. And so for instance, like this last season, I'll start with that. My first year being pro, I think I dealt with a lot of imposter syndrome style of the mental load side. And part of that was just every day showing up. Like a big part for me was like getting the reps in and just reminding like watching film sometimes, because I think in my brain, I see things way worse than what they actually are. And then I'll go back and watch practice film and be like, oh, it actually wasn't as bad as I remembered. Obviously, you can't do that in your daily life and watch a video back of everything you're doing.
I wish.
And someday, yes. And be like, oh, that didn't sound as stupid when I said that as I thought it did. Hopefully. But I think from like a quick reset, even in the middle of practices sometimes, or in the middle of a game, sometimes it's mantras. Like when I step into practice, if I know I'm struggling with something I'm really good with technique based things. And we have a mindset coach who is part of our staff, and I've talked to him before about because I do really well with technique things, just honing in on one thing. Like if I'm going back to serve, not necessarily focusing on I got to get the ball in, I got to do this. It's more I'm going to lift my toss to my right shoulder and I'm going to finish my contact. Like simple things when you're in the middle of 16,000 people that I can focus on and tactically handle. And I think the other part too is, again, for me, like free flowing and having fun is like a big part of my mental side. So when I get quiet and I'm not being as aggressive as a libero in my seams with my teammates going after balls, that's when you know I'm probably struggling mentally with some things. But when I'm like exuberant and cheering on people and getting really in your face and like being really aggressive for balls, you can tell that like my mental game is a little bit better. So those are like some of the resets I've worked on in the past year that I think have helped. But again, it's kind of ever evolving for me.
Yeah.
So tips and tricks on that end will always help too.
So defense, arguably, I would say, as someone who casually plays pickup volleyball in her 30s, who's also played volleyball for a very long time, I would argue that defense is the hardest position to play. And it's 90% anticipation, right? So how do you train your brain to read a hitter before a swing? Obviously, you've got serve receive that you participate in as well, but I'd say reading hitters is probably one of like the anticipation, and everything has to be so much faster. So how do you feel like you do that?
I will say technology has been a blessing in this part, especially for the professional side, that we get to scout our hitters prior to going into games. And then obviously, like when I'm playing my teammates in practice, we go through 5-6 months together. So you start to pick up a lot of tendencies. Part of it, I think, in the moment, like you said, a lot of it is anticipation. A lot of it is trusting that I've played volleyball for a long time, and I know when a setter sets this ball and it's inside, the hitter's most likely going to cut a little bit sharper on it, or she's going to get on top of it a little bit more. I got to sit in. And I think part of the anticipation is, number one, seeing where the pass is. Then I know, okay, she's probably only going to be able to set pin to pin, or she's going to set her middle and it's going to be a little wonky. Be ready for some tips. Then we got to watch the setter, obviously, to know if she's going to dump the ball or not. So you're kind of anticipating that a little bit, getting your body ready for that. And then as the setter, if it leaves her hands, I'm then kind of watching in a 1-second instance of also moving my body from base to release. In this magical thing we get to call defense, is watching where the set is on the net, where the attacker is in relation to the ball, and then knowing from that side of it, kind of where her hand contact goes, what her tendency is, and just reacting from there. So yeah, for sure, 90% anticipation, probably 10%, maybe that split of reaction. And then can I be in my split spot and then make a really good aggressive move from there?
Yeah.
So, Allison, a little just like along with like the volleyball of it all, like so often I think young athletes, young volleyball players think like, oh my God, I just want to dive all over the court and da 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 da. What do you say to that? What are your thoughts?
I think diving is fun. I understand where they're coming from. I'm the same way sometimes. As you get older, diving is not as fun sometimes and really hurts on the court sometimes. What I would say, especially in the libero position, I've always said the best liberos are usually the ones that go unnoticed. Not to be said that you shouldn't be flying around and making amazing plays, but like you were talking about from defensive reading and anticipation. Most of the time, if we're reading well and our blockers are in the right spot and we're in the right spot, it should look pretty easy, and we should really probably go unnoticed a lot of the times. Your ESPN highlight plays are most likely when your block was not in the right place, you weren't in the right place on defense, and you're having to make an emergency diving save. Which is great, looks great on film, especially if it pans out for you, but it's sometimes just easier if we're in the right spot. So as much as we love diving moves and we should work on them, it's emergency purposes a lot of the time, yes.
Yeah.
Hate to say it.
Yeah. No, I think that's so true. It's easy to get lost in the fun of the dive, especially as like a younger athlete. And especially, I think it maybe makes them feel like they're really like standing themselves out, like, but like you said, maybe it's better to go unnoticed and just already have predicted where the ball is gonna be.
Right. Which isn't as
Yeah.
flashy or fun,
Yeah.
but you'll save some bruises down the road. Your body will thank you, and you don't have to clean up sweat as much. So maybe your team will thank you too.
The towel boy will thank you.
Yeah.
I want a libero to get MVP one year because seriously, or just any defensive player, actually. Let's just start there. Any person in the back row, because nothing is anything, okay, without a first pass.
Right. You said it. I mean, I would love to see that too sometime. I think it's tough. It's tough because we don't get to score points, but we're saving a lot of
Right.
points, hopefully.
Exactly.
being
Points
scored.
start in the back row. Okay.
That's right. Yeah. So I know that recently, Allison, you have been coaching a little bit. Tell me a little bit about, I'm sure you have seen, as I did, how different it is from playing. So just tell me a little bit about your experience with that. What have we loved it? Have we maybe not thought it was what we thought it would be?
Yeah, I've been through all the stages as well, I think. I have to say, and I'll probably say this anytime someone asks me this question because I hope the message gets out there, but like once you start coaching, I know they say hindsight is always 2020, but man, do I give kudos to every single coach I've ever had. And like, I'm sorry if I was ever a pain to you, or just like
Literally.
all the work that they put in, like you just never see the full behind the scenes of what coaches have to think about, what they're doing, how they're planning. It's a lot. It's totally a lot. And I've loved it, truthfully. I like coaching a lot. From a player perspective, it's nice to kind of go back and forth because I see things in other people's games, and it's tricky for me to be able to articulate it to them and put words to like what they're doing and how to do it better, and to see it from an outside perspective looking in, and to be able to take that to my own game has been really eye-opening for a lot of things. And I also just think this is probably like a weird side of it maybe you've picked up on too, but from a coaching perspective, I think I've taken more pressure off myself that like I have to be perfect as a player, because you're always thinking when you're playing like, man, the coach just saw that and he thinks that I am not good at volleyball now because I shanked the ball or whatever. But I'm like, honestly, most of the time, like coaches aren't able to see everything all the time, and they're really not thinking about you as much as you think they are. And so that's actually been kind of freeing from my coaching perspective to be like, I can't see everybody doing everything all the time. Someone will ask me what they just did, and I'm like, I don't know. I was watching the right side of the court. I'm sorry. I only have two eyes. So it's been good for a lot of reasons for me. I've enjoyed it. It's been a challenge. It's been all the things, but I think I will hopefully continue coaching at some capacity.
As you should, with the patience of Job, honey. As you should. I will say, in my own experience, coaching has taught me a lot of patience, especially on the beach side. Because you can't, like as a beach coach, you can't really interact as much as you can indoor. And so it's been, we watch
Yeah.
first, we speak later. And that's such a good practice to have in life. So I've gotten some extra reps, if you will, with that.
Yes. Yeah. Knowing when to say stuff and not to say stuff is important too. And to be someone's cheerleader, or they need a little kick in the bootay, sometimes learning that balance is tough too. So kudos to you, because not being able to talk it out. I mean, it's probably nice. You get to think a little bit more, but
Yeah, it's very different because
Mhm.
before this, my coaching experience was coaching club, which is like,
Constant.
loud and a billion people and a lot. So then transitioning into beach was like, wow, like I have a second here to like observe, and it's cool too to see the girls have to kind of like figure it out themselves because you can't just like grip on their every movement or their every play. Oh my gosh, Allison, how could you let me forget to talk about this great big achievement that you just got?
Oh.
You're the worst. I totally
If
forgot
you
to put this
want.
in here. I'm gonna. Did you see it,
Okay.
Holly?
Yeah, you got some award for what was it?
For basically being the best person ever.
Okay, I low key thought that, but I didn't want to completely like
And I
embarrass
do
myself.
seem
I
to
reposted
remember.
it on the pod. Or
I do
of course
seem
I
to
saw.
remember me saying, if I leave out anything super cool, please let me know. And you didn't.
Well,
And that is like you're too humble. Okay, we're
She
gonna have a
really
lesson
is.
on being less humble.
that's fine. I probably need that in some ways, Holly. Rachel knows.
Talk your shit, Allison, okay?
You know what? I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it for the whole world to see. When Allison arrived at Morehead her freshman year, we were like a couple practices in. I pulled her to the side. I said, you should be at a way bigger school than this.
Rachel preached this to me for years.
I
For years
did. I
there,
was
and
like,
I
you
said,
could be at
yeah.
such a better, like, you could be playing for such a bigger program than Morehead State. And you know what? The things
Here we are.
happened,
You know
and
what?
she went to
Yeah.
Creighton, and now she's a pro player. So,
Right. You can have the best of both worlds,
yeah.
apparently.
Yeah. Okay, I need to look up Allison
Yeah.
Witten.
This is why, if I can't do it
Holder.
myself, that's why I'm friends with Rachel,
Yeah, because if she won't put the spotlight on herself, I will put it on her. Okay?
Right.
Look at her,
Absolutely.
everyone. Allison Holder. What was the award called?
The Diane Mendenhall community and
I'm just gonna put Diane Menden.
something, should know this.
Allison Holder Award, Omaha Supernovas. Omaha. So we're just gonna backtrack real quick, everybody, since Mrs. Holder forgot
She was
to remind
withholding.
she was withholding.
Oh,
Mrs. Holder was withholding. In honor of team president Diane Mendenhall's final season as president, the Supernovas have created an annual award to represent the mark she left on the franchise, the Diane Mendenhall Culture and Community Impact Award. This award is presented to the supernova who sets the standard for what it means to represent the organization through leadership in the locker room, commitment to teammates, and the meaningful impact in the community. And they recognized our dear gal, Mrs. Allison Holder. So snaps for her. Tell me about this award, Allison. Were you shocked? Did they spring it on you?
they did kind of spring it on us. And truthfully, like, there are so many players on our team that I think this award could have gone to, and it could be the whole team award. And I think part of it too is that Diane Mendenhall, our president, has done such a phenomenal job, like raising up the Supernovas how she envisioned them to be. And so it was really like a culmination of, I don't know, it was almost full circle for me that I'm just really grateful for this experience and to be able to pour back into Omaha. I love the community here. I love this team. I love everything we're doing here. I love volleyball. Like, all that's so true. And I hope that reigns true for me to be able to express it to other people. And I think that's something that she really holds true for the Omaha Supernovas. So I think that the creation of the award is perfect for her and like truly will be a mark of the impact that she left on our franchise. And it was exciting, I guess, to get it as the first person to be able to have it. But again, our team is so great. It could really go to any one of those girls. And I love this community. So
Love. Well,
What a
congrats.
humble
I know,
answer.
literally, literally. Allison,
Yeah.
I will say, in my experience of watching Allison as a teammate in some of her earlier years, I mean, we could sing her praises all day long, but talk about a calm to any storm. So I know that all of your teammates probably collectively agree that it absolutely was well deserved.
I hope so, but thank you.
Okay, so what is your, you've got a home game in Omaha. What is your go-to pregame meal?
Okay. If it's like an early, I love some breakfast. I used to be a breakfast hater. Now I love breakfast. So if it's like a 3 p.m. game, I'm definitely doing like a brunch, a pre-brunch, toast, 3 eggs, chicken, maybe some avocado, some jam, some jelly. If it's not breakfast, I'm probably going rice bowl. I make a lot of rice bowls. Rice, chicken sausage, peppers and onions, mustard, hot take. I put mustard on
Oh.
everything, you guys.
That's
Yeah, sorry.
disgusting.
No.
thank you.
No, ma'am.
Get her out of here.
I know.
I did not know this
know.
about you. I did not know
Listen.
this.
If you put mustard on your eggs, Ian got me into this, my husband. And at first I was like, that's disgusting. Try it once. If you like mustard at all.
What
and
if
I
you
put it
don't
on
like
everything.
mustard?
Well, maybe honey mustard. You like honey mustard?
How can
Not
I make
eggs,
her
but-
love this? Oh, my word. Mustard on
Yeah.
everything? Wow.
Mustard on everything.
Alrighty.
The more you know.
The more you know, the more you know.
Okay, so now that we've settled the debate of how tall you are,
Uh-huh.
what advice would you give for the short girl at tryouts?
I think for anyone at tryouts, even if you're tall, even if you're short, learn how to do every skill. That will take you super far. If you can serve, if you can pass, you're probably on the court. If you can set, if you can hit, you're probably also on the court. And just like, not that it's everybody's personality, but I think if you can like lift other people up in a lot of ways and just be very vocal, height doesn't matter in any case. Your athleticism and everything else will take you far if you're just a good teammate. They see that over your height a lot of times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
be tall in other areas.
That's right. Amen, Holly. Come on.
Sure.
Yeah.
I would probably wear it. Hello, I'm 5'4".
Me too. All right, fine. We'll market it from Cut the BS.
Literally.
Oh, man. Okay. One song that absolutely has to be on the game day playlist.
Oh,
You
this
only
is
get
tough.
one.
Only one. Oh. Let me try to think this season. What's been like you guys, this isn't very rapid fire of me. All right.
It's
I love some Spanish music. Like, hear me out.
Yeah, you can.
Yes,
you can
of
look
course.
the
Pull
vibes
up
are
the
there.
playlist.
My brain goes to something that I haven't listened to in 5 years if someone asked me this question. Okay, this song, you guys. I'm gonna do this one because this is like such a feel-good song for me. I don't know what it means. I don't know if it's controversial or not. I don't really care. The vibes are great. It's called Cuba by the Gibson Brothers. It's like an 80s Spanish vibe. Can I just play you a little bit? Can you hear it?
Yeah. I could see where, especially if you like to like dance, this could be good.
Oh, wait. Anyway.
So do you actually know what they're saying?
Yeah. Just listen to it on your own time or put it in here or something. It'll just make you have a good day. That's a great song.
I can
He's like,
see
I
it.
don't. But,
for sure.
So you do know what they're saying, or you don't?
Cuba, Comar, bailar la salsa or something. I know they're saying like, let's dance the salsa or something. There's only like 5 words in it, I think.
So the chances of it being bad are so slim.
Yeah.
There's only
Just
five.
dancing in
There you
Cuba. The salsa.
What's hilarious is like that you're jamming to this song and you still don't know what they're
Right.
saying. I'm dead.
Every time.
Yeah. Okay.
It's absolutely the vibes.
Yeah.
I love that.
Okay. Do you watch college volleyball still at all? Any like, okay.
I don't keep up hardcore probably as much as I should, but I do watch it, yes.
But you watch a little bit. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This upcoming volleyball season, aside from your previous schools, okay,
Okay.
who are you most excited to watch? Or like what team? Not who isn't a player, but what team are you most excited to watch?
Oh, man. Okay, maybe I haven't kept up as much as I haven't kept up with like the transfers and how people's spring seasons have gone. I know Penn State just got some good people, but I'm not going to say Penn State, sorry. Honestly, I love to see like some like Texas A&M this year. I love to see some like pop out teams that maybe I should just put a guess in of who I think could be like a wow pop out team. Kentucky obviously had a good run and they're usually in the mix a lot of the times. Maybe like Houston again. Houston sometimes gets a good mix of people. Texas is coming in hot. Obviously all your Big Ten teams got a lot of movement and get stronger every year. So yeah, I don't have a good answer to that probably, but
okay. What if we changed it to like player from last year that is returning that you're just excited to watch continue, like to see how they progress this year? Is that an easier answer for you?
Probably not, honestly. Rachel knows I'm so bad with people and I don't even know. Well, I'm so wrapped up in like the Nebraska community that all I can think when you say that are all the Huskers, all the Blue Jays. That I can't even like think of people that are still there next year.
I mean, I'm excited to see Nebraska this year.
Yeah.
It's a basic answer, but like nonetheless.
Yeah, right. They're going to be solid. They're going to be super solid. That's all I'll say on that. If you're not going to let me say my alma mater schools.
Okay. So I know, Allison, that you have a little bit of a history playing some beach volleyball in your college days. Do we think there would ever be a transition from professional indoor to beach?
Ooh. I hope so, honestly, at some point. I love beach. Indoor is my first love, but I love beach so much. It's fun to play in the summer. I do a lot of it in summer and grass tournaments and things like that. From like an actual pro competitive side, it's a tough field to be in because there's so many players and there's just so many good players and there's only 2 instead of 6 on the court and there's a lot of parameters behind pro beach. So I don't know how far I would even venture into that realm, but from like an AVP standpoint or something like that, I would totally do that for sure. I love beach.
Yes, same.
Yes.
I am a full convert to beach, and my knees and hips are grateful to me for that. So
there's that too. Yeah. So
see,
yeah,
it's sounding
when
better
the time
already,
comes,
right?
I know. It's fun. I do love beach. I will say I'd have to really like train hard again because they've gotten good. Like beach has changed so much and I'm probably a little out of date on a lot of that.
The Kristen Ness era.
Yes. She's so good.
Yeah.
I love them. TKN.
She is so good. Yeah.
We'll give permission to, I think, with a non-rapid fire answer, okay?
Okay.
So I've kind of mentioned earlier that, you know, you've been part of like the progression and growth of volleyball as a whole. What would you tell younger girls who are wanting to play pro, especially now that pro is within the states? Like, what would you tell them? What would be your advice to them?
It's going to be interesting to navigate, I think, as college gets bigger and more professional teams are coming to the US, which is so phenomenal. I would say, honestly continue to like have love for the sport. I think a lot of things can get misconstrued in your college days. And like pro really comes to the point of like, how much do you really love the sport that you're like going to make this your job and like really dedicate a lot of your life to this now, the travel, all of the things, like your full lifestyle. College is a little different in that perspective, but it's so fun. So if that's even a hope for you, like totally seek that avenue. There's so many teams coming there. It's just growing exponentially over the years, and it's going to be super fun for them to be a part of. So like dream big for it. I think regardless of what level you're at, you never know. Like it's been fun to see even some other smaller Division I girls go pro, either overseas or in the US, but even in our league and some other leagues, I've seen it at any position. So I say go for it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, am I allowed to ask you guys a question?
Oh,
Yeah.
Allison, no, never. Don't put us in the hot seat.
We throw this back on you somehow. Holly, you played volleyball, yes?
Yeah, briefly.
Okay.
Okay, briefly
Just
is
for-
crazy.
Just for 18 years of my life.
Just for 18 years of my life, right. No big deal. Wait, where did you play? You played in college?
No.
Okay.
That's why I say no, basically.
Okay.
But you did
But you're still
play.
playing now.
Well, no.
Oh, she plays at America's, okay?
Mary.
That's what I call it. America's. She's from Louisville. She played at Presentation High School.
Yeah. For a little bit. And then I
And
played
listen,
club.
Louisville is, you already know, Allison, Louisville is
And-
the when it comes to volleyball. So you
right.
know she
and
got
if you
some
played
skill.
club in Louisville, yeah, girl.
Yeah.
What position?
Okay. DS. Depending
Yeah,
on the
girl.
team, sometimes libero, but not often.
It's okay. I was
Okay.
a 5'7" outside hitter. It's very small.
So we all feel the pain.
We've all been there.
Yeah, literally.
Okay, so I'm just curious because, like, I don't know, from the experience, like, I think what you're doing on Cut the BS is awesome. And I, as a wellness girly in myself, have loved listening and hearing to, like, the authentic perspective of, like, you've been an athlete, you are an athlete, you're living a daily life, you're working a job, you're doing all these things so beautifully. And you have just such a great perspective on everything. So I'm just curious, like going from like volleyball specifically, since we've talked a lot of volleyball today, like what has carried over from your volleyball side of life into, not like, I know you're doing adult leagues and stuff like that, but like from your volleyball side into where you are now?
I would just say the competitive spirit that was born in volleyball has carried over into my day to day, and always striving to be better.
Yeah, and even in last episode, Rachel, you talked about like how can I better the ball, like as an athlete, that's a mindset you want your girls to carry. Like,
Yeah.
Obviously it's harder to be competitive as you get older, and like I think sometimes people might hear competitive and think like, I don't want to be friends with someone who's competitive, like
Right.
the jealousy of it all, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, no, it's just like, how can I be better for myself, not
Yeah. Or better
Better
than
than
me
you.
yesterday. Like we've said this before, Holly, like it's you versus you, like you have to become a better version of yourself as time goes on in many different aspects.
Yeah.
Self-improvement. So I think that has been a big piece for me.
Yeah. I would
I
say
like
for
that.
me, just like as an athlete in general, like the discipline and the accountability that I learned at a young age, especially like I started club volleyball in 5th or 6th grade. And I mean, that's a lot of your time as a young person, like to discipline to something, you love and to getting better at it. So I think that's definitely carried over in my everyday life and just how I approach everything. And then volleyball specifically, kind of how I mentioned, like just letting things go when the ball didn't go your way or whatever, like you shanked a pass. Oh, well, like get your head back in it,
Yeah.
Like letting go of that perfectionism and the all or nothing of it all. I think I definitely learned that in volleyball.
Yeah. I love that.
I don't know if I would have learned it as easily if I played any other sport, because other sports, it doesn't feel like it operates the same as volleyball. Volleyball gets so much hate from so many people in my life because there's this one thing.
Who are they?
I already know what it is, I feel like.
You probably do. It's the way that, number one, You guys are just always so smiley. You're always gathering in the middle of the court after every play, laughing and giggling. What is your all's rebuttal? Let's set the truth right
set
here.
the
Let's
record
cut
straight.
the BS, okay? What's going on? Why are we doing that?
Ian, my husband, like, we have this conversation a lot because you guys know they're football players and this is totally not a football thing at all. He's like, how can you guys make a mistake and just come in and be like, oh, it's fine. Like, you guys got it. It's okay. And I'm like, that's not what we're saying in the huddle. But I was
Right.
like, you have to understand volleyball is like a bonding sport like no other. Like, we truthfully have to rely on all 6 players out there all the time. No one can be slacking. Like, we've got to be together because we're all helping each other at the same time. And in order for that to happen, like, we've got to bond. We've got to hold eye contact. We're females. Like, we need the emotional connection in order for this to like flow fully. And like, sometimes it's a reset. Sometimes it's I want to get in your face and yell at you because you're awesome and you did that thing, girl.
Yeah.
Or sometimes it's like, I'm panicking. I don't know what to do. And like, I just want to hold somebody's hands because what just happened? You know, it's just like a reset in between points. And also, what do you want us to do? Just like stand there? Woo.
Like in football, okay, to take it to their sport, right? Y'all have 1,000 years in between every freaking play
Exactly.
to reset. Just because you're not coming together doesn't mean you're not getting that reset. Like, come on.
Y'all can come together when you throw in them hands.
Right. And what's that? Well,
heaven forbid we do it in a more civilized way.
For real.
But that is a hot, I mean, yeah. People say that all the time. That's probably the number one comment on volleyball as a sport. And yeah, I think we need to set the record straight. People need to get on board because it's great.
Yeah. It's so great. And also, even in life, like, what does continuing to be like sad and mopey do for you? Nothing.
Right.
Like, you already know you effed up. Like, let's move on.
Right. Get your little reset and get back out there.
Right. Love.
Well, I just think it's interesting. Well, also, like, I don't know, the adult community of volleyball is probably not talked about enough. Like, in our off season, we have to train as best we can, and being able to like hop into some adult leagues that are really competitive. Like, I think they get a bad rep of like, it's not great volleyball. It's just people getting together after work, which like some of them are just fun, like hangouts, but there are some adult leagues that are high level. And especially when you're playing with men, like, this is good quality training for me in the off season. I just want you to touch on that too. Like, pad your stats up a little bit here. When you say your rec league, it's not like your mom and pop rec league people are talking about down the street.
Right.
Yes.
Well, and I will say, since moving to Florida 4 years ago, I have had to do a lot of work to find said groups of people that are also like ex-college players. So you're right. It does get very competitive. Oh, it does get a little crazy. And I will say something that I do love about volleyball is that it's everywhere. Like the community is everywhere. It's gigantic and a small world all at the same time. I've met a lot of my really close adult friends through, just continuing to play post school. And I mean, there's tournaments everywhere. It brings people together. It's great. And I don't think any other sport has that really. Like football doesn't have it. Basketball, I mean, you got some people that pick up basketball, but like volleyball is people play till they're like 80, So,
yeah, I love that part of the sport. That's what especially in Omaha as well. Like, that's something when you cater in 16,000 fans, like that's kind of part of it, is because volleyball is a big piece of everyone's life for a lot of different reasons, from a very young age to like an older age as well, that like you get this range of people that just love to watch. And so I think that part needs to be talked about more.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
All right. Well, first and foremost, Allison, thank you for being here with us. Thank you for being our first official guest.
Yes.
It has been
first
a blast.
And best.
Yeah,
it was
first
your
and
first.
best.
Oh, I'm so honored. Thank you so much.
Worse. And I think it's been really fun to get to know professional volleyball for those who don't know volleyball in general or a lot about professional volleyball. Maybe we'll have to have you back on in a couple years. Who knows where professional volleyball will be at, where you'll be at. Maybe you'll be on the beach. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who
Would
knows?
she ever?
We will see. That would be great, though.
But we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Let us know your all's thoughts, what you learned maybe about professional volleyball or just volleyball in general, professional athletes and their wellness. Stay tuned. We will be back in the next episode.
And that's a wrap on this episode of Cut the BS with Holly and Rachel. If today gave you a dose of clarity, confidence, or even just a good laugh, we've done our job.
Don't forget, wellness isn't about doing more. It's about doing what actually works for you. So take what hit home, leave the rest, and keep showing up as your strongest, realest self.
Be sure to follow, rate, and share this episode with someone who's ready to cut the BS and live with more intention. Until next time.